G'day legends, it's Jai, that Aussie metal guy here. Before we get stuck into another great interview brought to you by Crank.com and thatmetalstation.com, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe, and that way you can keep up to date with all the best music and interviews from all over the world. Hey, how you all going? It's Jai, that Aussie metal guy here with Crank.com and with thatmetalstation.com. So tonight, wherever you are in the world, it's a great pleasure that I'm having a chat with Sotiris from Greek symphonic metal legend Septicflesh, who are due to release their 11th studio album, Modern Primitive, 20th of May through Nuclear Blast. And it's an absolute ripper. And as a fan of your music, man, I was really excited to get the first single when it dropped, man. Hierophant, absolute ripper. Cheers for making some time to have a chat with me.
Cheers. I want to thank you for your good words. And also I want to thank all the people that really supported our singles. They're going great. And of course, soon it's the release of our new album.
Yeah, you must really be looking forward to it. Can you tell me first off about some of the themes that help influence you guys for the songwriting on this album?
Well, there are two different things going on, considering the creation of the lyrics. First, there are the lyrics that I have already created, because I don't wait to go to studio to start writing ideas. I believe in spontaneous power of ideas. So when I have a good idea, I just write it down and keep it for the future. So when we start recording a new album, I already have some ideas and actually some stories to tell. And then, of course, the second part is that I'm also influenced at the time of the recording from my life at that point. And this time we were living a historic change, something really powerful that affected me. And so we have two different kind of lyrics in the specific album.
Yeah, well, it's an amazing album. And like from that first single, Hierophant, when I heard that, dude, I was really blown away. And the film clip to go along with it, it was just Septicflesh, like classic, man. It really ripped hard. Can you tell me a little bit about that first single, Hierophant, and then the film clip as well that accompanied it?
Yeah, well, we started with a really heavy and gloomy song. Hierophant is a song that is really primitive, you can say, has a primitive approach to the orchestration. We have this different kind of orchestrations. Not all the songs have the same attitude, because we want to have a variety of ideas on our albums. So the specific song is more primitive and focused to his task. And the task of this song is to bring you to the first scene of the salvation story that I wrote. And it's the scene that the Hierophant summons a primitive, really powerful entity of fire. And so the lyrics affected also the video clip. I had a long discussion with the man in charge of creating our videos, John Symphonic, and I provided him with all the lyrics for all the songs of the album, to have a general sense of what's going on. And I also told him about some basic symbolism that I used. For the specific song, I used a lot of symbols from the tarot, because I found it really interesting. And as already tarot has incorporated a lot of ancient symbols, it was, I think, something that fitted with the song. And actually, you can say that the song represents the Hierophant upside down as a card, because it's against conformity. It is about someone that really wants to connect with God, but as his attempt failed, he tries not the conventional ways to be connected. And anyway, it's I think a really interesting story. And so we used a lot of resources for the video clip in order to give to our audience a good glimpse.
Yeah, well, I got a good vibe of that from the opening film clip and the sound of it. And even if you jump into the collector, I've got that kind of the Egyptian kind of vibe to it and the feel to it. Even that opening start of the album, you kind of, you know what you're kind of in store for. And the thing with Septicflesh, you can just take the album as it is, but if you dive more into it, you put more thought into it, and you check out the songs and the lyrics and the stories behind it, you can really get more out of Septicflesh as well.
Yeah, that is what we aim for.
Yeah,
we aim to create an art that is composed not only from the music, but also there is a visual element, a very strong visual element, and the lyrics also are really interconnected with the music.
Yep.
And so we strive to create a portal, you can say, for our listeners, that they can really go into this portal and enjoy the experience in a really intense way.
Yeah, well, I'm loving the artwork on this as well. Like the cover for that Modern Primitive is just spot on, dude. And some of the other artwork that I've had a look at as well. So I'm looking forward to getting the vinyl for this as well, because the artwork never seems to bloody miss with you guys. It's just really good. Tell me a little bit about the artwork on this.
Well, Seth and that is also vocalist, bassist, and co-writer of the songs, is the main man that has the task to create the artwork for Septicflesh. And so this is something that always works for our advantage. He has a very distinct stylistic approach to his work. He created a lot of different options for us. So we have the basic option that is for the CDs, that is the artwork of the head with the various parts that are deforming the head, and also parts that are indicating something more primeval and more primitive, you can say. And there is also another artwork that he used more than 100 layers to create, an artwork of madness, that we used it for the album, because for the vinyl, I mean, because it has so many stuff going on that you can only appreciate it when you see it full size. And so this is the cover for the vinyl, and there is so many information to the second cover. Both covers, of course, are really good, and I think that our friends will appreciate the artwork.
I think they will definitely appreciate the artwork. And you've continued the collaboration with the Philharmonic Orchestra of Prague, which has been going since 2007. It must be good to be able to keep that going as well with this album.
Yes, it is a long relationship that we have with a specific orchestra. They have proved that they can deliver whatever we ask them to do. There is a lot of understanding and a flawless communication between us. Of course, the symphonic element is represented in the band by Christos Antonio, that has a master's degree in symphonic composition. So he provides everything to the orchestra with lyric sheets, and he is also in charge from the band to dictate, to give the best information available to the conductor of the orchestra, so that he knows exactly what we want. And so as we have a really good understanding and a really good result, we continue working together.
Yeah, it's got a great sound as always. Can you tell me a little bit about that second single that just dropped there, the Neuromancer single?
Yeah, well, the specific song was created by Seth. He used 12-string guitars to create the skeleton of the song. Actually, for this album, he played a lot with 12-string guitars because he wanted to emulate a more traditional feeling to the songs, and that's why some parts that he created were provided later to some ethnic instruments as bouzouki, oud, santur. We used a lot of different instruments, but because we wanted this natural sound to be an integral part of the album. And I think that it's one of the reasons that this album sounds different from the previous ones. And so the specific song, Neuromancer, has a lot of bridges, you can say, besides the main really heavy and rhythmical riff that is the dominant factor in the song. And there is a lot of there is the intro, then we have the rhythmical part, then we have the continuation of the idea of the intro and the development with the orchestra. It is a more dramatic, you can say, song. It's a journey, it's like a journey. And when someone has also the lyrics and listens to the song and has also the lyrics in his disposal, then the song becomes even more powerful. And I think this song is representative for our more theatrical side, and probably that's why we also used corpse paint for the video clip.
Yeah, in the film clip. Yeah. And it's also had that kind of different feel to it. Some kind of, I was noticing that beastly feel, and some were kind of like the other side of it as well.
Yes. It's more theatrical, you can say. And that's why we chose the specific song, because it represents our more theatrical side. We tried to use songs that each song provides a glimpse to one of the Septicflesh elements that are dominant in the album, so that the new audience that will be reached will get a good grasp of what Septicflesh is about.
Yeah, and that's a good thing. Over 30 years, you guys have been around and bringing out albums, with this being your 11th album. It must be great for you as a band, as you just mentioned, seeing these new fans come on board, not only reaching the old fans that have been there from the start, but people that have just come along the last 10 years or 5 years, or even just the last couple of years. It must be great for you guys to continually see the growth of the band of Septicflesh.
Yes, it's amazing because so many years have passed, and still we see a lot of new people coming aboard. And we feel really grateful also to our fans that keep supporting us. We know that each fan has a different favorite album, because we have so many albums. So it's impossible to satisfy everybody, because somebody wants us as we were, for instance, in Communion. Somebody else wants us as we were in Titan. I don't know, but we cannot satisfy everybody. So it's a lost cause to try satisfying someone else. So when we create music, we just let ourselves loose, just trust our imagination and instinct, and see where we're going to.
And that's one thing too that most of us, and myself included, love about Septicflesh is they're always pushing the boundaries. And if just go buy all the albums. You love Communion, go crank the hell out of that and jump back into the other one. Can't go wrong there. And it must be, you guys have got a whole heap of tours as well. I've noticed, played a couple of shows. It must be great finally that the world's starting to open up again, and you can finally get out there and drop this album and actually have some bloody shows behind it. I noticed you got a big one with Hypocrisy coming up with the Agonist and Horizon Ignited. Whole stack of other shows, way too many for me to mention. It must be great to finally get back on the road and start connecting with your fans again and playing some shows.
Yes, because there was so much time wasted, but we had to wait. All artists had to wait. That was the situation. We tried to use the time for our benefit in order to strategically plan our next step. So that's why you are seeing so many stuff put out. You see the new video clips. We have also plans that you will find out soon. Now it's time to celebrate, because it's like the hard time, at least for us, passed. We managed to complete the task, to end the album. We faced a lot of difficulties, but now it's time for celebration for us, and we want to celebrate it with our fans. And of course, the live shows are the best way to celebrate your music.
And one track off the album you're really looking forward to getting out there and playing live for everyone?
There are a lot of songs that have this stage mood, and I think that they will sound great on our live set list. For instance, A Desert Throne, I think it will sound great. Also Hierophant. The strange thing is that no matter the complexity of the songs, we managed to make them really tight and really rhythmical. So I think that there are a lot of songs from this album that will be great live.
Yeah, and I know you guys have a lot of shows upcoming, and probably most countries are screaming out for you. So hopefully see you in the next couple of years down under. Look, everyone, go out and grab Modern Primitive, chuck in the pre-orders. They're absolutely amazing. Sotiris, do you have any last words, shout outs, or thank yous you'd like to add in there, my friend?
Well, of course, we want to come to Australia, and when we find the chance, we will do it. I want to thank you for your support, and also I want to thank everybody there that already pre-ordered the album and watched the video clips and etc. And it's time to go to a more normal way of life, and I wish everybody to stay safe and just to leave behind the bad situation.
Awesome, Sotiris. Thank you very much, mate. You have a lovely evening. Cheers, and congratulations on a great album. Thanks, mate.
Thank you. Cheers.
Cheers.